Do you guys want to know the one thing that is responsible for most relationships failing? Yes, most relationship failures can be whittled down to this one thing. I'm Dr. Sarah Hensley. I'm a specialized social psychologist, and I've been studying the science of attachment and attraction inside romantic relationships for nearly 20 years. And I know what you're thinking. It's maybe finances or it's problems in the bedroom. Nope. It's not the stressors of parenting. It's not general incompatibilities. It's not even per se attachment traumas in and of themselves, which I know is what you were thinking I was going to say. It's the fact that at the end of the day, when our attachment traumas are triggered, most people cannot take accountability. It is lack of accountability that is at the core of relationship failure. And lack of accountability inside of relationships is so prevalent and it's so dysfunctional and destructive. Yet I see people every day that will trip all over themselves in order to avoid any accountability for their bad behavior inside of relationships. Some people have this magical ability to turn anything they do wrong into their partner's fault, or to simply just justify it as being misunderstood or misperceived. Most people don't even know what accountability really is. Accountability is saying, yes, I said that thing. Yes, I did that thing. And I recognize that it hurt you. But step 2 of taking accountability is actually having a plan that works towards changing and being a willing participant in working that plan. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect, but it does mean that your partner is seeing that you're really trying to make that change for the betterment of the relationship and because you love that person that you're with. So why do people struggle so much with taking accountability? Well, it has to do with the fact that anybody who has insecure attachment has a self-concept built around shame. And so when our partner triggers our attachment wounds, it creates an experience of internal shame that the nervous system simply cannot tolerate. And because the nervous system cannot tolerate these shame experiences, it launches us into trauma responses of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And when you look at those trauma responses and what the nervous system is doing, the nervous system is trying to defend at all costs against shame. And because essentially shame is just such a painful emotional experience that leads to a lot of bodily discomfort as well inside of the emotional experience. And so in order to escape that discomfort as quickly as possible, the nervous system essentially will put you into a fight response, which means you're going to get defensive, you're going to argue, you're going to blame shift, you're going to tell the other person that they're wrong. A flight response where you sort of shut down and you're holding it all in and just not saying anything because 1, you don't know how to respond, or 2, you're scared of what the response will do to the relationship. And so you just don't respond at all. A freeze response, which is also very common for more of my avoidant folks, like the dismissive avoidant, they just dissociate or check out. They literally don't know how to handle it. And so they don't handle it in response. And so regardless if you get reactive and defensive or you shut down, there's no accountability there. And so nothing ever changes. And then relationships absolutely die because we have someone that essentially is so bogged down by their own shame, they cannot change. And these are the folks I work miracles with every single day to overcome their attachment trauma, to overcome their persistent shame that is dysregulating their nervous system and keeping them from being an attuned, engaged, loving, and respectful partner. And someone who can be deeply accountable for their actions without experiencing overwhelming and dysregulating shame. If this was interesting to you, you can see me at my website, thedatingdecoder.com.